Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's time for Hollywood on the Rocks. Today on the show, tons of news out of Hollywood, some Disney news, maybe some popcorn bucket news, and we'll have our early review of Alien Romulus. That's right, I've seen it. I have thoughts. I will share them non-spoiler with you as well. Alan Ng is waiting in the wings. So let's go. Let's get things started. Let's start the show. Come on, Alan. What? It's time for Hollywood on the Rocks and Alan Ng to join me at some point. Where's Alan? Let's get him here. Alan, where are you? Alan?
Hold
Wait.
on, Chris Gore. I'll call him for you. Alan.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah, I'm shutting the music off.
Oh, sorry about that.
All right, we're changing the opening. Got it.
No, I appreciate you have my back. You have my back there. Cool. So how's it going, man?
Good.
Our whole discussion, we were prepping the show and talking about buckets.
I know.
Yeah, I need this bucket, this popcorn. I'm more excited about the popcorn buckets for Alien Romulus than I am for Alien. I'm really curious what you think, Alan.
Yeah. No, you're making me go to a whole new theater I never go to. So I can
just to get the bucket.
Yeah.
You got to get the bucket, man.
I'm going to try to get the bucket. If they have the bucket, I'll get the bucket.
All right. Get the bucket. All right. Let's see who's here before we start some comments here.
No.
Here we go.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hey, Alan, come
I just
on.
assume they read themselves. Sailor Mercury, brought here by Nerdrotic.
That's right. He's at the dentist right now. So there you go.
Yeah. Hold on. I need to get my
Jason D says somehow chat return. This is Lord Kalis. Gary banished you here. That's right.
Yep.
Chris Foster, I'm going to see this film Friday evening, so please no spoilers. There may be light spoilers. You will be warned. Okay, because the trailer really says nothing. Yep. Very, very light on stories. So Chris, you may want to dip out. But we have news to go over first. So, John Manalang, let's get to it, boys. And like, share, subscribe, join the channel as a member. We've got a giveaway to our members only. I have digital codes. I have code giveaway for Twisters on Friday. So get your code on Friday. That's for members only, plus exclusive videos. Look up our exclusive member videos there. Yeah. So we have some news stories, but what is this?
I love it when they say the name of the movie in the movie. I love it too.
It does happen. So
remember when Luke said, "Oh, the Empire struck back."
Luke, we're ready for takeoff.
Good luck, Mando. When we find Jabba the Hutt and that bounty hunter, we'll contact you.
I'll meet you at the rendezvous point on Tatooine.
Princess, we'll find Han. I promise.
Chewie, I'll be waiting for your signal. Take care, you two.
Oh, the Empire struck back.
One of my favorite scenes from Star Wars, from The Empire Strikes Back, was when Luke said that line.
I know.
It's a classic line. It's a
love it.
classic line. So, all right. We've got a lot of news stories here, but Alan has something very special he wants to say after having seen that clip.
May the menstrual cycle be with you always.
You're talking about the acolyte, right?
No. Man, you're so lucky I give you those lines. It's
They're great. You are so Alan is very memeable.
I know.
He's very memeable.
Well, the worst part is if I ever decide to run for president, all those videos are going to come to the surface and destroy my career.
Yes. I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
No, it's the prepare her for our pleasure one. That will be...
Prepare her for our pleasure. Oh my God. All right. We have news stories. Let's go over this. We talked about it on the Nooner. This is chilling, this story. Disney Plus terms prevent allergy death lawsuit. Disney says. If you would throw up the story, Alan.
I found it.
Yeah, this is scary for a number of reasons. One, it's a man and his wife were at Disney parks. His wife has an allergy. This was told to the people at the restaurant, and she ended up the food included the thing she was allergic to. She died that night. And because this man had signed up for Disney Plus trial, which says any lawsuit would go to arbitration, they're using that as a defense. Alan, if you would read maybe the first sentence or two of this.
Okay.
Next. I read this.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Disney World is arguing a man cannot sue it over the death of his wife because of terms he signed up for in a free trial to Disney Plus. Jeffrey Piccolo filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Disney after his wife died in 2023 from a severe allergic reaction after eating at a restaurant at the theme park. However, Disney argues its terms of use, which Mr. Piccolo agreed to when creating his Disney account in 2019, means they have to settle out of court. Representatives for Disney and Jeffrey Piccolo have been contacted for comment.
Alan, you have Disney. You have had Disney Plus.
I currently have Disney Plus.
Okay, so you have signed that agreement.
Yes,
and you were at D23 this weekend,
and I was at Downtown Disney on Monday as well.
Right. So, what are your thoughts on this? Because you actually are also included in this.
That's right.
So you agreed to that. Any lawsuit that could occur with anything dealing with the parks, whatnot, you now are under this agreement. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is, I can't step back into a Disney property in fear of getting hurt or injured in some way, because then I'm going to be forced into arbitration, which is a scumbag tactic here. I mean, look, from the outset, and this is where I think they're going to lose, but it's one thing to sign up for a subscription and to have to deal with arbitration based on that subscription on the streamer platform, but to have that apply to a theme park where, let's face it, you are more likely to die at Disneyland than you are at home watching Disney Plus. I think that's where the shakiness of this lawsuit is going to come in. Because I don't think people, even if you did read the terms of service when signing up, how can you reasonably imply that applies to the theme parks?
Yeah, I agree with you, but how many times have you signed up for anything? There's a little TOS, you cannot proceed unless you agree to the thing that most people, 99.999% of people, do not read it.
And you have to scroll down a lot. I mean, it's not a paragraph or two. It's several pages.
Exactly. I think this is disgusting. It's another reason the brand will continue to look badly in people's eyes. And I'm horrified by it. This man was having a vacation, nice evening with his wife.
In good faith.
And she died. I mean... and to add insult to injury, now they're trying to lowball a settlement when they are at fault for serving your food.
No, they're not lowballing settlement. They're saying you can't sue them. You have to go to arbitration from one of the Disney approved services. And let's just say that when you hire the court that you're going to litigate this in, it doesn't bode well for you.
Yeah, I think this is horrifying, and yet another thing that will diminish the brand of Disney in the eyes of so many people. This is just the beginning. This suit and Gina Carano's suit, all of things just continue to make the company look bad. So I think it's horrifying.
Well, let's just say that I think there's going to come a day when terms of services agreements will be challenged, and we're getting to a point where I think NDA agreements are going to be challenged as well.
Exactly. Let's go to our comments here, if you would, Alan. I'll post them up, and I'm going to save the comments about Alien Romulus. We'll get to the review. We'll save it for that. So I see your super chats. We'll get to those. Go ahead, Alan.
From Idlari, this is a freak of a story. This can't be legal.
Well, we'll find out, right?
Yeah. I mean, lawyers. Okay. Havoc says, BS, a streaming service is not a theme park. Exactly. Laura Buckles, I think a competent lawyer could contest that. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. Boney Tony for 2. Thank you. Time to cancel your D+, Alan. Yeah. Well, fortunately, it's a business expense on my end. Patrick Lemire, Death Plus. Tom Siebert. Hey, Tom. Remember the South Park episode when Stan signed that agreement that the company could come to his house and make him do a human centipede thing? That was funny, but made a point.
Yeah, and that's also, that one is based on a true story, I'm sure.
Where Disney came and made their kids do the human centipede.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to a couple more news stories, and then we'll get to the review as people keep coming in here.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Will Alien Romulus, which is a Fox movie, which is part of Disney, will this continue Disney's summer box office streak? You've got, you've got Deadpool and Wolverine. You've got Inside Out 2, billion-dollar movies, global. Alien Romulus. How do we think it'll do? There's the speculation in Variety, I think, and also I love the Alien franchise. I saw the first movie in a theater in 1979 when no one even knew what it was. Aliens topped it, going a different direction, more sci-fi action than horror, pure horror. We'll talk about Alien Romulus soon, but how do you think that this will do? Okay,
well, let's see what Variety is.
Their speculation is this is from Variety.
Okay, I'll just read the first paragraph here. Alien Romulus is expected to rip into the box office with 28 million to 38 million its first weekend of release. Rivals and independent tracking services are bullish on Disney and 20th Century's sci-fi sequel, though believing that the inaugural ticket sales will wind up closer to 40 or 50 million.
Yeah, I actually think it could be in that range, higher than that. I think because, and we'll talk about it later, based on the trailers, everything, this is back to basics. What do you want in an Alien movie, right? You want people in peril, you want face huggers, you want chest bursters, you want
everything you got with the first Alien movie.
There's a checklist of things you want to see, and there are some things you have never seen, and I'll just tease it. You get all those things. So how will it fare with normie audiences? I think normie audiences are going to respond, but it would be a streak. It would be, it's what's strange is even with these hits and after D23, the stock hasn't moved. So even with these good announcements, these positive announcements and the box office of, and what I think it will do well. I mean, really well, remain to be seen. But the stock, it's people's confidence in the brand. Alan, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's interesting, but Disney is on a roll as long as the property doesn't have the word Disney in it. meaning meaning
True.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did well. It overperformed. That's Fox. Inside Out 2, Pixar, billion and a half. Deadpool Wolverine just hit $1 billion. And I think this one will do. My guess is it'll perform just like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mentioned this on Monday's show, and Chris, maybe you could say something about it, but I feel like this movie is meant to skew young. It's meant to appeal to old school fans, and it's meant to appeal to younger audiences,
Yes.
teen and above.
Yes. It's because the audience or the main characters they're all Gen Z.
Mhm.
These are Gen Z, very young, like early 20s, maybe teens in that range of 25 maybe being the oldest.
Right.
But
So
they're very young.
Gen Z is going to see themselves on screen, and then for us adults, they're going to kill Gen Z, which is even more of a bigger bonus.
I think the Gen Z getting killed off one by one is a huge appeal.
Yeah.
Huge.
So yeah, this movie will do well.
We'll see. Let's go to some quick comments here.
All right. From Tom Siebert again. Hey, I saw the original Alien in the theater in 70 millimeter with my pal Hank Miller. Very memorable day. Scared shit out of us.
I think you meant to say scared the living poop out.
Yeah. Sorry. Scared the poop out of us. Alex Anomaly. Oh my God. Allen franchise. This is how I read these things. I love Alien franchise, at least the first two, and some of the games, plus Prometheus, mainly for the lore. President Jafar, the first Alien was always the best one.
We'll get to more comments about that. One more news story, but before we do that, I need to remind people of a couple of things. Go to shop.filmthreat.com for all your let's say, Alan, for a minute, let's say you're naked.
Yes.
Let's say you're right now.
Okay, I'm
nude.
naked. I'm naked.
What would you do? Imagine Alan naked. Well, you know what can solve that problem? A shirt from the Film Threat shop. And I am currently wearing the Ripley approved alien inspired logo of Film Threat right now. And we have other shirts as well. This is our submarine designs. We kind of roll out new designs with the Film Threat logo here. And I like this one. I have the Blockbuster inspired one.
Yeah,
So,
I will say that
collection.
Yeah, if I ever did find myself naked, I would definitely rush to shop.filmthreat.com. And I will tell you, in less than a week, my nakedness will be cured.
Yeah, look, I find myself naked at least once or twice a day. How do I fix that? Well, what do? I put on a Film Threat shirt. It cures nudity on contact. Go to shop.filmthreat.com and support our work and pick up a shirt. All right, let's go to a new news story here.
Okay.
I'm going to pivot and let's go. This is interesting to me because I'm a fan.
Okay, there we go.
The creature from the Black Lagoon from the 1950s is one of my all-time favorite classic sci-fi films or monster movies. When I was a kid, I loved this movie. It's a very short feature film. It's just over an hour. But I love this. There's a scene with the creature underwater swimming with an actress named Julia Adams. And she has this one-piece white swimsuit where her assets are very much on display. It's just look up the swimming scene. It's a practical monster suit that you can swim with. It looks very real. There are like multiple sequels to it. And I really love the series. James Wan is developing a Creature from the Black Lagoon remake for Universal. It's been talked about for years. I I like James Wan. He can be hit and miss, but I'm all in on this. I'd like to see it. But how do you, I think, don't do CG. Practical effects, please. Do practical. Don't, I mean, this, they basically made a suit, like a scuba monster suit you could swim in. It looks good to today. So I don't know, Alan, were you ever a fan?
No, I didn't.
What?
I didn't watch the monster movies even then. Look, I was watching Three Stooges, watching the Marx Brothers. I was comedy, not horror.
I like that.
Yeah, but you can't remake the Three Stooges. You can't remake the Marx Brothers, but you can remake The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I'm happy.
Yes,
for you.
You can.
Yeah,
yes, you can.
But I agree. I mean, look, Godzilla. Let's just go with Matthew Broderick. Godzilla. The mistake was making an actual lizard. It should be a guy in a suit. This should be a guy in a suit. Shouldn't be CG.
Now, do we have details? What does the story say?
Okay, so will horror B movie audiences finally get the remake they've been waiting for decades? Universal again is looking to remake the 1954 monster movie Creature from the Black Lagoon, and this time they're looking to Aquaman director. That's not the credit you want to attach.
Oh no,
James Wan, someone who knows a thing or two about underwater battles and Gilman, to develop his own modern take. An individual with knowledge of the project told IndieWire. Wan may direct too, and is in early talks to tack on that responsibility. If he does, it would be his first project behind the director's chair since merging his production company Atomic Monster with Blumhouse Productions.
Well, here's Julia Adams in the suit, the bathing suit she wears in the movie. I mean, my only thing, don't go digital. It looks bad. It looks bad.
Well, let's also say don't keep the girl in the bikini.
Yeah, let's do that. So
yeah. I mean, look, if you're looking, Universal, maybe this is your chance to go after Sydney Sweeney and get her to co-star in this movie.
Yes, that's my plan. All right, let's go to comments here.
All right, from Caveat Ties on Rumble for $1. Thank you for making me feel young. I was born in 79. Laura Buckles, I think we need to find Chris a woman. Yes.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I am attempting to date in Los Angeles, which I would not wish on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
So I have a couple dates this weekend. So
oh, do you?
Yeah.
Come along.
I'm beginning. I have been getting sage advice from someone you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting advice from.
Hi, Dad. I miss you.
Your daughter has been giving me advice.
Yeah, whatever she tells you, 100% do it.
I might do that or the opposite. We'll see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess streaming helps. Doing a game stream would help you out. From MK Solid, Creature from the Black Lagoon is the epitome of silver screen monsters.
Yeah, just make it real.
All right, JWT6577, Alan naked. The internet is now pregnant. I'm sorry, but that's what I do. From Derek Rosenfeld, this has potential if they do it right. I mean, they make it a legit. Oh, never mind. Okay, Jimmy Francis. I'm also a fan of Creature of the Black Lagoon. Rewatched it a couple weeks ago. It's the first 3D shot film, right?
No, it's not the first. It's one of the first that used the blue and red glasses. Yeah. I had a copy of this. Well, it was a shortened version on like a 200-foot reel of Creature from the Black Lagoon. It was in 3D. You had to put on it was in Super 8 sound. You had to wear these red, blue glasses, and I loved it. It looked so good. So, yeah, a lot of good memories.
All right, MK Solid. Oh God, the Golden Age women were hot. We're so hot.
There you go.
Yeah. Matthew Hammond, member for 5 months. Thank you for your support. Paramount TV Studios shutting down.
Yep. Sad to say, but it's
But
going
they're
to
talking
get
about the
worse.
cable channel. Paramount TV Studios, is that the cable channel or is it the production company?
The production company.
Okay. From Rumble again, from John Getz. For one, Los Angeles. Doesn't Sydney Sweeney work there? Just date her. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah. Sounds easy. Sure. She'd be into me.
Yeah. I mean, she likes those older silver-haired foxes. Maybe.
I'm not going to. I'm good. I'm good. I like her. But I don't like her
All
that
right.
way.
Flash G for 5 Canadian. Film Threat reviewed my super indie film last year. We didn't get a ton of local support. You guys really care about indie films. Forever grateful.
Oh, well, thank you for that. You know what that means if we reviewed your movie. If it's available commercially, if it is available, meaning if it's a short film you can see, go to awardthis.com, submit your film to be eligible for Award This. It's Film Threat's annual award show. I'll put up the banner here. We need to let people know the deadline is September 30th. The only 2 qualifications. Your movie must be reviewed on filmthreat.com, the website. In addition, it has to be available. So commercially available, you can buy it. It's a short film. You can see it on YouTube, whatever. You need for people to be able to buy or rent or see your movie in some way. Go to awardthis.com. Watch the previous years. We've got all the, look at this. Lila Hart was our host this year. There she is for 2023. We've got, we have a comedian who will be our host for 2024. I'll be announcing it soon. 2023 Red Carpet, 2022. We do this show every year. It's fun. It's a big party. You can participate. Go to awardthis.com and submit your movie for review. We support indie filmmakers. That's what we do. It's part of our mission as Film Threat. All right. One more news story before we get to our review. Thank you for waiting patiently. I don't know about this one, Alan. Help me out. George Clooney is irritated by Quentin Tarantino. What's up with that?
All right. Well, you put it in the doc, so you assuming you know more about it than I do.
No, I didn't put it in the doc.
I didn't put it in the doc. But we could talk about it. All right, here we go.
This is why we do. Hey, when we do show prep, we need to do show prep. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I do show prep.
About what's in the document.
I just assume if I didn't put it in there, you put it in there. Like this is one that you put in there. So you know more about the story.
It's one that I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
BAFTA tells non-binary stars you must choose actor or actress. Pick a side. This is from the Daily Mail. And BAFTA, of course, is the British version of the Oscars. Okay. I think this story is really interesting. So if you would, Alan, get us caught up on the story.
Yes. All right. BAFTA has dealt a blow to non-binary performers, deciding after spending 2 years debating the thorny question of gendered acting categories, the award nominees will have to pick a side and choose whether they want to compete as actors or actresses. The announcement places non-binary performers like Emma Corrin, Emma Darcy, and Bella Ramsey in a tricky position. Revised guidelines released last week says that film producers must confirm the gender/gender identity of each candidate for nomination. A source adds, it is up to the entrant which category they enter into. Following the decision in 2022 by their music counterparts, the Brit Awards, to go gender neutral, BAFTA revealed that they are engaged in proactive and thoughtful consultation on the subject of gendered acting categories and we're speaking to sector peers, industry stakeholders, and experts. And then obviously they chose to just stay with tradition.
Okay, now this is, I find this fascinating. We just finished the Olympics, and there was a lot of controversy about, the women's boxing, where it seemed very clear that there were people who were non-women participating in the Olympics women's boxing category.
Well, let's be clear. Just because you have an XY chromosome, heightened testosterone levels, and an Adam's apple, that doesn't necessarily make you a man.
Well, I feel like that is just the beginning of that controversy, but it's caused a lot of. I mean, I go by common sense. I feel like you can live your life how you are, but however you were born, that's the box you're in. Now, how you choose to live your life and whatever, or clothes you wear, do whatever you want. I don't care. You're an adult. I don't care. Let your freak flag fly. But when it comes to this, I feel like you got to pick a side. Now, what is going to happen? They mentioned certain people like Emma D'Arcy, Bella Ramsey. They identify as non-binary. Gonna guess maybe they just put themselves in the actress category. Alan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, common sense. Come on, folks. Just pick the gender you were assigned. Do I necessarily want to go into a rant here? But I remember all my life always being told, you didn't have a choice of the body you were given, and you weren't given a choice of the family you're a part of. And it's these things that you accept about yourself. And once you're able to accept it about yourself, you become more of a whole person and can kind of deal with the rest of your life. Just accept who you are and be proud of who you are. I just find it, soul crushing that we're having this conversation. There's so many issues when you create a third category that people just can just drop themselves into. Because the reality is, when you create this third category, this gender neutral category, there's this subtle implication that you're not as good as you think you are.
Would you like to go on a rant?
No. Yeah, I mean, look, the only reason I waver is because I have friends who are in these situations. I have non-binary friends. I have friends who have been trans since I met them and have become trans since I've known them, and I love them dearly. They're legitimately my friends, but it just seems like we're just bending over backwards to accommodate people's feelings, and it's just. There's this, we're just making complex things out of simple things. And
is the solution just to create a third category?
Well, you create a third category, you have to create a fourth category. Look, there are 30 genders, right? So there should be then 30 categories. And
there should be 30 categories. We should have lots of awards.
Mm-hmm.
Should we?
I think so. Yeah, let's do that. Because quite frankly, award shows aren't long enough. And
right. Well, where this may be going is there's just best actor, male, female, whatever. There'll be one category.
Yeah, 1 or 1,000, either way. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me the most, and it's the fact that we can't have this conversation. That we can't talk about this without being described as a transphobe, a homophobe. Anti this, anti that. This is the problem: is we cannot have this conversation, because if we're ever to solve this problem, we have to have the conversation. We have to make tough choices. Things have to be said that are, quite frankly, common sense, And we have to say things that we have been saying for the last thousands of years. But we can't for some stupid reason. Because, this is, if we get into the other story, this is exactly what's going on here. We can't have civil conversations anymore. And I remember saying this back in the early 2000s during the Obama McCain election, is we've lost the ability to debate. We've lost the ability to say what we feel and respect a person for saying it, and either having it challenged and deemed right or having it challenged and deemed wrong. And this is my frustration with where we've come as a society because of that.
Well, Alan, I think you did great. You answered all the questions.
Yay! I'm running for president.
All right, let's see what people in the comments say.
All right. Mazer. Wow, BAFTA grew some balls. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Torgo the White, member for 5 months. Get BAFTA'd, big ots. Let me just click this button here so I can read this better. The based AFTRA from Gung Ho Matt.
No, the Gung Ho Mac, the based AFTA, like BAFTA.
Okay.
I get what he's doing.
All right. President Jafar. Finally, a little common sense from Tinseltown.
Well,
no,
not from Tinseltown, across the pond.
Yeah.
But
but let's just say that they were doing this long before we were. They're realizing it now.
This will influence the Oscars.
Will it? Well,
I think so. I think so.
I mean, I don't remember the Oscars having this conversation.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Joseph, that means Rhaenyra Targaryen, I don't know how these pronounced, is going to have to choose one. Yeah, because I think that happened last year. And Film Threat Rumble Caveat Ties. Why did the trans men only eat meat? He was an herbivore. Oliver Lavery Frog, you get an award. You get an award. Everyone gets an award.
Well, that's the way award shows are now, right? I mean, everyone gets awards.
I mean, I think we should just have a category of best second-rate actor.
True. All right. One last story that Alan put up.
Yes.
The LA mayor wants better production tax incentives as more and more productions leave LA. The mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is asking for more production incentives. I mean, I'll tell you this, just from people I know. I have friends who work in production, who work below the line, right? Lighting, sound, everyone, we've done a lot of stories about this. Everyone is hurting for work. It is sad what's happening in LA. We did a story a few weeks ago about people just leaving LA because there's no film production work. This is a step in the right direction, because the reason so many productions have fled to Canada or Atlanta, whatnot, or other states
and other countries, for crying out loud.
Other countries, is because of tax incentives. You double your money, you double your production. You get more for your money. You spend this locally, the state will match that money or give you incentives so your money goes further somewhere else. And it is expensive to live in LA, much less date in LA. So let me just say, I haven't been super impressed with Karen Bass. This is one thing she's doing that might help. Alan, maybe you want to read this and give us your quick thoughts.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure she'll be for no tax on tips pretty soon. How LA Mayor Karen Bass and the film industry pros intend to put pressure on California for better production tax incentives. In producing Scott Cooper's upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me From Nowhere, starring Jeremy Allen White, producer Ellen Goldsmith Vane was met with a problem. Obviously, the film would shoot mostly in Springsteen's native New Jersey, but they also wanted to shoot some in Los Angeles. The New Jersey, though, had dedicated up to $750 million to get movies to film in the state. California offers less than half that. Their options were limited and their choices were clear. We shoot a very short period of time in Los Angeles, largely because of the expense to shoot there. We shoot a very we can't get a tax credit in there. There's just no incentive for us to do it. It makes it very difficult for filmmakers to. So we are shooting in another state. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let's see.
That's all we need to hear. I see the numbers on here. Filming in the city, leave it there for a sec. Filming in the city has declined by 12.4% compared to with the second quarter of 2023 and 33.4%. It's dipping. I mean, she wants it. Can she make it happen? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much power she has when it comes to Sacramento, but I mean, this is a state thing.
Well, they're finally cleaning up the homeless. Did you notice that? All the encampments are being cleaned up.
Yeah, good for you, Gavin Newsom.
In an election year, now we're finally going to do something.
Yeah. Also, doesn't the guy want to run in 2028?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's go here to your comments.
All right, from Invisible Acropolis, as usual with politicians, way too little, way too late.
Bingo. That's the comment.
Mm-hmm. Davina Duckworth, it's hilarious. Hollywood can't even do their main job.
For sure. Thank you, Davina.
Invisible Acropolis, Hollywood got way too high on their own supply.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take a quick break while we reset and get ready for our...
just read those comments while you were away.
Well, you could read more comments.
Yeah, I will read more comments. It's just, Lori's going to help me get them starred. Otherwise, I'm just going to randomly...
What about Emma Stone?
I like Emma Stone.
As MJ.
She didn't play MJ.
Who? Oh, no,
Gwen Stacy.
Who played
Gwen Stacy?
Oh, that's right. It was.
You've been gored.
There we go. All right. From Carlos Alfredo Lopez, we need more comments for Alan to read. There you go. See, that's what happens when I just randomly select a comment. It's just a comment about me needing comments. From MK Solid, Alan fights off the homeless at least once a week. No, I live in Orange County. We hate the homeless in Orange County. From MK Solid, Chris has to freshen up. Let's see. The Drifter 67, P-Break, Mark Offenbacher. California is an economic mess. More government influence will only serve to distort the market further. It's too late. Oh, I could just go on. When you talk about the homeless problem and the amount of money we're pumping into the homeless problem, we're talking about the drug problem and the amount of money we're pumping into the drug problem. And now we want to pump more money into Hollywood because, quite frankly, it's not just the tax incentives that keep people away. It's the fees. It's the cost of doing business in Hollywood that drives people out of Hollywood.
But look, all I know is, Alan, money is the best way to solve any problem. Didn't you know that?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look at the record stock market prices. Hey, good job for everyone who owns stock. You're rich. All right, President Jafar, Gavin sweeps the streets of LA and hide the homeless. Yeah, that's our governor. Patrick Lemire, lower the taxes on everyone in California instead of just the specials. Remember COVID when California drove tens of thousands of businesses into the ground while the film industry was allowed to keep going? Yeah, I sadly know a lot of people who lost their businesses during COVID.
Yes.
I know a lot of people I know a lot of empty business spaces in California as well. Invisible Acropolis, politicians will not save your world.
True.
And that's why we vote for them. And and then finally from super chat from Willie the Monkey King's music for 2. What's up, Pimp Daddy Gore and Alan Big D Ng? What's up? And then finally from Rumble, caveat ties for Buck. So if you two teamed up to attack, say, dear God,
if you two teamed up to attack someone, would you be goring them?
Yes.
Yeah. If you two teamed up to attack someone, would you be gore? I mean, someone should be one word at a comma. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
In my head, when I read these things, I correct everything. It's all my years of being an editor and having like sentences and correct spelling and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Well done. Well done. Your experience has served you well. Oh, Master Gore.
Oh my God. All right. Hey, let's talk about Alien now. I'm trying to find a video that we can play while we reset.
Okay.
So you know what to do.
This will be the conflict we have about that subject for going forward.
Christopher Moonlight Productions. Productions.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Just talk when I talk. It's great.
Just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Christopher Moonlight. How could you
Look at that poster. I mean, that doesn't say it all.
All right, let's talk about Alien Romulus. This is the latest film in the Alien franchise without Sigourney Weaver, sadly. It is directed by Fede Alvarez, who I think is a very talented director. He did a new Evil Dead film, which I thought was very good. This involves a group of young space colonizers. They're on a planet that is dark 24/7. It's very depressing, and they are working off their mining contract so they can finally leave and go on to better pursuits. The lead character is a young girl named Rain, and she calls her brother, but it's really an android that is her very close friend. Andy, played by David Johnson, is an android, and a whole group of friends that they really, really want to escape this mining colony and go on to brighter pastures. They find out there is a floating space station that is unmanned. No one is on the space station, and in a very short time, its orbit will diminish and it will be destroyed. But if they can get to it soon enough and grab some cryo chambers, they could use those chambers to get in a ship to go on to a better place. So they take a vehicle and they go up to the ship, and of course discover that this ship was a place where experiments were done. There may be mild spoilers, but I'm only going to talk about the first third or so of the film. The people on this vessel, they were able to somehow, in the vastness of space, find the alien that Ripley dispensed with in the first Alien movie. It was preserved in a sort of fossilized rock. The alien is in it, and they did experiments, and everyone in this facility is gone. So they're dead. They begin exploring. They uncover, this is all in the trailers, face huggers. Some of these friends are in peril. Andy is an android that is very dedicated to Rain. Her parents put in his programming, he must protect her at all costs. He gets some new programming so he can open doors on the space station that somehow alter his plan, his agenda. Of course, one by one, these colonizers are have some. They're placed in peril, and Rain must make a choice about how she shall survive. I won't go into more detail than that because I know people get upset. This is not going to keep this very non-spoiler. I'll say this about the film. The characters, let's talk about the actors. Callie Spaney is fine. She's okay. The best actor plays a robot, David Johnson, as Andy, who tells dad jokes. There are two other actors, Tyler and Bjorn, that have British accents. You can barely understand what they're saying, played by Archie Renault and Spike Fern. Aileen Wu, she's fine as kind of a non-binary looking woman, a woman of action. But I'm not particularly really attached to these actors. You know, you're supposed to like them because they're threatened, but I didn't find them, other than Andy and the lead, Rain, I didn't find them particularly compelling. But this movie has the check boxes of everything you'd want in an alien movie. Face huggers, people in peril, chest bursters, xenomorphs, all of it. And a mysterious experiment on this station that is revealed later about what the Weyland-Yutani company's intentions are. While it does have the checkbox of what you'd want to see, and for the most part, mostly practical effects. I say mostly because as the film progresses, there are CG effects I thought that were not very good. There is a cameo from a character from the first Alien that I think looks so bad used in a deep fake / cheap fake sense that did not work, that took me out of it. So there's some bad CG effects that took me out of the film. While it does have the things you would look for, the first half drags, the third act does not stick the landing. And, you know, I care about alien movies when I care about the characters. And this is where this falls short. The script was weak. No one's going to complain about for the most of the effects. At least the practical effects are decent. But I was just not. I'm more invested in the popcorn bucket than I am in this film. And in the end, unfortunately, I think I'll say this: normies may love this film. I did not. I'm a hardcore Alien fan. I saw the first Alien recently in theaters. It was re-released, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Was not sold. You know, even after the first Alien movie, because the one thing is Sigourney Weaver was sexy. We saw her in panties and a very tight tank top. She looked amazing. I miss sexy, because I think horror, you need horror when it's good. You have a sexy is part of it. And Callie Spaney as the character of Rain Carradine is not. At no point did they make her out to be sexy at all. I think that's part of good horror. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if I see her in another Alien movie. So while I think normies will probably like it, I had the same reaction to this as I had with the latest Planet of the Apes. It's like, well, that's a Planet of the Apes movie. And well, this is an Alien movie. It's fine. In a month, we won't be even talking about it. I did not like it. I can't recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 10. I will say the audience I saw it with seemed to like it. Sort of tepid applause at the end. And as I said, normies love it. as a fan of the franchise from the beginning, did not really resonate with me, and it's a pass for me. So there are my thoughts. I will go into more detail when we do a spoiler review, and I really want to hear your thoughts, Alan. You know,
so I do have to watch it then.
You have to see it. You have to see it.
Well,
So
I will say I saw Alien for the first time a year ago, and I guess I'm getting used to horror films.
well, you need to see this. It's a big one, so you got to see it.
Yeah.
But whatever you think about it, I'm curious. I did not, and I cannot tell you the things that bothered me the most because they're all in the third act.
Yeah,
Third act,
it sounds like.
Let me wait.
Okay.
The third act, is where all the problems are, and I'm gonna respect. There'll be no spoilers here, but the third act lands with a thud, and to get specific will ruin the film. I'm not going to do that, but I will do it Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. So there you are.
All right, let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
One is, if I have never seen an Alien movie before this one, will I enjoy myself more?
Maybe. I mean, I do think it helps to see the first Alien. Rewatch Alien 1 because this takes place between Alien and Aliens. So watch the first. You've seen the first one. That's all. You're good. You're good then. So this is Alien 1.5.
Because so here's the thing. Because the first Alien, the things that the alien does in the first movie, you had never seen before. This was new when it comes to horror filmmaking, which is probably the reason I didn't see the first one, because I knew horrific things happen to people, especially a lot of the body gore. But now that we're decades past, it just feels like the impact of the alien doing the alien thing is not as terrifying as it was.
Yes, because we know what's coming. And the thing is this though, for Fede Alvarez, it looks great. I mean, the movie looks great. It looks in the world. The opening scene, there's like a nod. There's a lot of nods and member berries. You're going to get nods and member berries, not just to visuals, but sound effects that matter. Okay. So it's, but really it's the weakness is the script and the actors. I thought the characters are just not, I mean, what's great about the first Alien, these are adults, right? They're not millennials, they're not kids in space. No, they're adults, grizzled truck drivers in space. Yeah. That's what they are.
They can defend themselves to a point.
Yeah, blue collar, and it was very, very diverse, right?
Yeah.
This is Gen Z in space, and just all the problems are really in the second half, because I was there. I was like, okay, I'm good with moving slow. I'm good with horror, but show me something I haven't seen. Tell me a story I'm so invested in. And I saw Alien recently, a couple months ago. I saw it with my daughter, who had never seen it in a theater. She was, the both of us were like, there's not a scene or a line you could lose. It's fast. It like in terms of the pace, it builds and builds and builds. That final act is just, the audience just clapped and everyone stayed and talked about how good this film is. So I just think they're trying to appeal to a new audience by casting, can I see myself in this movie? And there's a big problem in the third act that I cannot even talk about, but we'll talk about it Friday. We'll go in depth, major spoilers Friday, and your opinion will be included.
Okay. Now, what I had heard is they recreated the alien moment from Spaceballs in the third act. When the alien pops out and then does a song and dance number.
That is not true.
That's not true. That's not in there.
Not true.
Okay.
Not true. Okay, so
Yeah, no, I was just saying it's weird to me, but look, this is like Jurassic Park, where nothing beats that first movie.
Right.
As much as technology has advanced with Jurassic Park, the first movie had the best effects and the best scores. And somehow the ability to recreate this is just not happening. Aliens is the only exception to that.
Well, it's all the problems are in the third act. We'll talk about it. It's for me, like only on one viewing, and I do change my mind. It's a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a 4 out of 10 because in a month, I don't think this will be talking about it. I do think that normies will probably enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get like maybe on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe a 60, 70 and Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what critic score is yet, but
all right.
All right, let's go to your
moment. There's no sexy moment where the female protagonists are like having a pillow fight or something like that.
All right, let's go to your comments.
I just want something in this movie that is going to make me excited to see it. From Cass again. Member for 11 months. Thank you for your support. What's the best musical number in Alien Romulus? There you go. There's my joke told better. Oilers Workshop, $4.99. $5 says I disagree with Chris on Alien Romulus because I'm a practical FX fanboy and will be taken solely by my love of that regardless of the story.
Well, we'll say this. No problem with the practical effects. It's the CG, the computer graphics, in particular, the third act, that are the problem. So Oilers Workshop, I want to hear what you think. Hopefully you'll be back on Friday. We'll discuss. Super chats at the bottom. We'll go here.
Okay. From DL for $19.99. What did you like more? The new Alien or Prometheus? What did you like more than Alien or Prometheus? What am I reading?
Thanks. It's the same sentence repeated twice.
Okay.
So the Prometheus, much better, more interesting, better actors. I mean,
and that's much more about the lore than anything.
They got into the lore, I think, in a way that was unsatisfying, but Prometheus is way better. I think Ridley Scott did a much better job. So Prometheus was better than this, if you're asking.
All right, Thomas Pickett for 10. My theory, the Jerry Goldsmith theory, sequels and remakes of movies that he did the music for. If the movie doesn't use any of his original score, it will fail.
There are callbacks to his music.
All right.
Pilgrim
Media for 2. I want a face hugger for Halloween.
You can get them.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get one on tomorrow. Dr. Certifiable for 5. Not telling anyone else what to like, but I am so out on checking the boxes Alien films. I wish all cash grab films would flop so they would stop making them.
Yeah, they needed to do something new.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're younger and they're
like,
more, and there's a male female kind of balance.
Someone made a list of all the things that should be in an Alien movie. Well, you'll get your list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. So, but if that's the best thing I can say, that's not good. Also, by the way, Alan, you're going to Cinemark to get the Alien head popcorn.
Yes,
bucket.
I'm going to Cinemark.
Yes, you are. To get me a bucket.
All right. So if you wanna do a Film Threat meetup, I'm going to the 3:00 showing at the Cinemark in Orange, the one by the Honda.
If you want to stalk Alan,
yeah, it's the one by the Honda Center. That's where I'll be. 3:00.
I'll be at the AMC Burbank 16.
All right.
So, and I don't know. It's where the Batman statue is.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell you there are plenty of tickets available for the 3:00 showing at the
the showing I'm going to in the Dolby Cinema at 7, 100% sold out. There's not one empty seat. 100%. So
all right.
there you go.
Glenwood Reed for 5. Is it worth going to see for the alien popcorn bucket?
Well, you don't have to see Alien Romulus to get a bucket. You can see something else.
Yeah, I should do that. Yep.
I mean, look, I'm more excited about the bucket because I'm a fan of the franchise, right? I love the franchise, so the bucket is just it's an alien popcorn bucket. So
I mean, it's a cool bucket as opposed to the tin can with pictures on the side.
Right. No, I do like these buckets. When we were at San Diego Comic-Con, they had the bucket, the company that makes the buckets was there. I talked to them.
Yeah.
It's great.
Or at least the AMC ones, yes.
Yeah.
Crazy description for 2. Which is better, this or Alien Covenant?
Oh, wow. I think Alien Covenant might be better.
So is this the worst of the Alien movies? In your opinion?
I don't know.
Is there
I would need to really look at a list. This is definitely bottom at the bottom.
And Spaceballs is
I think Alien Covenant was better cast, better. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. How's your father? I was underwhelmed by Alien Covenant. I suspect I'll feel the same with this one.
Yeah, let's start at the top, Alan.
Yeah, actually, we have one more super chat.
One more. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it is from Rumble. Caveat ties for $1. Is Lucy Lawless going to play a xenomorph? A
xenomorph. I love Lucy Lawless. We have interviewed her a couple times for the channel. She's in fact, you have an you did an interview.
Yeah, she had a film from I believe it was Sundance and South by Southwest.
Yeah.
And, great interview. She is such an amazing person.
Oh, she's awesome. She's no BS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, go to Film Threat, our interview channel. Check that out. She's great.
Yep.
So let's start from the top here.
And she does her hair just like you do. She just wakes up and
here I am. I just literally did nothing. There you go.
Jack the Tech. Millennials in space.
Here's a super that just came in.
Yeah, Matthew Hammond for 2. Tony Scott made better movies than Ridley Scott.
Many have said.
Yeah. But who made more money? Snakes and Funerals. Will aliens Bomulus?
Bomulus. You know, like Romulus, Bomulus.
I know. I was trying to figure that one out. Trying to figure out how to pronounce that one. Bomulus. President Jafar. I want to see how this movie matches up to Prometheus. Winsome Hex. Is the girl the key to everything? Yeah, we can't talk about that.
No, but there is a key.
Okay.
And that's not the problem with this movie.
Yeah, she's not like the alien princess.
No, but it's not like that.
Saves the world. Okay.
Nope.
We got that one actually. I read that one. And then President Jafar, no Ridley Scott, no Alien.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I'd like to talk about this more, but I'd really have to go into spoilers.
Mm-hmm. And
I can't. My synopsis, my short review is all I can say. So
what we're saying is the best part of Alien Romulus is Gen Z getting murdered by aliens.
Watching Gen Z get murdered was the best part.
Okay.
So there you go. All right. We have some news stories we can do right now.
Okay.
You still want to talk about Alien?
Do I? Okay, here we go. MK Solid. Wayland created David, so David creates the aliens to destroy humans. That's Scott's great vision.
Yeah, I was. I liked Prometheus, but I wanted to see a proper version of the end of that story.
And from Devin2677, Chris just confirmed some of my fears about this movie. Chris, you spoiled it again.
I did. There's a lot more I could say, but because people get so bent out of shape if I say anything.
Every week it's the same kind. Chris just
It's
spoiled
like,
the
how do I talk about films without telling you something about the movie?
That's why I always say the first act. We could talk about the first act, and
That's what I did.
Yeah, it's just the first half hour of the movie, which is usually in the trailer. I mean, this one, to me, when I saw the trailer, it felt like Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine, just a bunch of teenagers going into a hostile environment and getting murdered.
John Harrison.
How is Chris live here and with Neurotic? What the F? Nerdrotic.
That's a replay. Neurotic is a replay.
Yeah. I think he pulls it off stream and then re-uploads it.
Yes.
Which is what you might be seeing.
Because we had to cut some stuff.
Oh, okay. Snakes and Funerals. There are only 2 Alien movies, Alan. Only 2. Yes. And there are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. Winsome Hacks. Is the name Romulus actually meaningful?
It actually is. In the movie, they explain that it is a reference to Romulus and Remus.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Mars, Monkey Max. Prometheus was boring, but I liked the direction. I mean, anything, does it sound like, I don't know, what is it? A Disney Channel version of the original Aliens?
No, it's not that.
Okay. Not that bad. David Batalur, Prometheus gave us the origin story, and that story was disappointing and bland. Do better, Ridley.
I mean, I agree. It asked questions, but the answers were kind of lame. So I agree with you. David.
Yes. Vitaphone, Vision Sound. Weird to hear any praise for both Covenants and Prometheus. They are both meandering masses, and the screenplays are abysmal with characters that make no sense.
I agree with you, but it's like you're ranking them. Like you asked me, Alien Romulus, how does it compare to that? Well, Prometheus is better. It's still flawed as hell, and I hate that they. Here's what I don't like about it, and I recently bought. I have to find it. I purchased the derelict, the ship from the first Alien. So they come in and discover the space jockey, right? And it's a creature that has been fossilized sitting there. They turn that into the costume that it was a bad decision. So yeah, it's like, look, I think Vitaphone, it's in comparison to. So Prometheus, I thought had really great production design. I like the actors. They're not kids in space. There was genuine, interesting questions being asked about the origins of life in the universe. It's ultimately a disappointment, but so we have all these movies to look at and then pick the ones that we like. And yeah, Uncle Remus. That's exactly right.
So Brer Alien teaches the Gen Z kids lessons about life.
That's exactly right.
All right, good. Then I'm looking forward to this movie. It'll be just like my penguin friend. All right, Narf Metman, member for 4 months. Romulus or Alien 4? We're just ranking these things. I feel like you just have to say this is the worst one. Is it better than Alien 4?
Now I need a list.
I've only seen the first one, so I'm not on the Alien lore here.
That was Alien Resurrection. I mean, that had some stuff in it that wasn't bad. I like the director.
But was it better than Romulus?
Alien Resurrection? It might be. It's really because Sigourney Weaver is any movie with Sigourney in it is better. just off the top.
Yeah.
As I look at the films, I think this might be the worst one. Maybe I can't, I need more time to think, folks. I apologize. I want to think about it more. I really, it's, list time. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that website where we could just rank all these? Matthew Hammond for $4.99. Ridley Scott movies are either really good or terrible. Tony Scott released great movies each time that made money. Enemy of the State is so good. I love Enemy of the State. Gene Hackman alone made that movie.
But an alien movie or a horror movie in general is better when you care about the characters. Thanks, Matthew Hammond.
I mean, yeah, well, this is Gen Z, and I think that's why we're having a hard time relating to these characters or finding sympathy for them. But at least it wasn't woke, right? There's no messages of white oppression and the
no, it's little. The commentary is subtle, but it's not distracting.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Joking.
Yeah, the Wild Man from Yavin for 10. I'm an hour behind live. I heard about the D plus BS for a lawsuit. Oh my wow! On my way home today. OMFG.
No. Oh my effing God. Oh my effing God.
I just.
Yeah.
My reading's not on today. Darth Loverboy.
Tell me about it.
I know. I'm feeling it right now. Darth Loverboy Turned Loose. Alien 3 was a great film. People only hate it because it subverted their expectations from the end of Aliens.
Yeah, because we like those characters. And to kill them off screen was, but I mean, there's a better version of Alien 3 that was never made. So
they killed off all the characters from Alien 2 before Alien 3.
Yeah, which was dumb.
Wow. Okay. Thomas Pickett for 5. That initial breakfast scene in Alien is so important. We identify with the crew. We're them. Exactly.
True. That
exactly.
scene is so good. There's all this interplay. There's like class war stuff. The pilots get paid more than the grunts, who are the blue collar guys working in the engines.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Even at the young age in which you saw Aliens or Alien, you identified with those characters. You understood them. And so you had a vested interest in their survival. And I feel like you're not getting that with this crew. Rafael Lopez, Sigourney Weaver was hot in Alien Resurrection. More hot than the first one?
I mean, look, she was an Avatar. She probably could be in an Alien movie.
Yeah. And I believe she is going to be an Avatar as well. The next one. Mark Offenbacher, Alien 4 with Snake Ripley. That is the worst. MK Solid, Ridley Scott is very old. And he is cranky as hell.
He's earned it.
Yeah. Jason D. Is Romulus just more mystery boxes? Yeah. Is there more lore that
okay. Let me answer it. There are mystery boxes. They are open. So there's a mystery, and it is. I'm not going to say what you hear is satisfying. I'm saying it's not a mystery, but I actually like mysteries. Like, look, there are so many things that are mysterious about the first Alien, but you don't feel dissatisfied that you don't get an answer. Where did these aliens come from? Who is this? Is the space jockey? That's a whole other group of people. Why does the corporation want these aliens? We don't need the answers. So there you go. So it's Alien Romulus answers all the mysteries it tells you, but not in a way that I think is very good. So I'll be right back, Alan. Keep going.
Okay. But go ahead. But I'm just saying, it reminds me of A Quiet Place Day One. It it reveals the mystery, but I didn't really care about the mystery or wanting to know an answer to where those aliens came from. All right, the Garth Knight returns. I have a soft spot for Alien Resurrection, mostly for the model miniature effects. Model miniatures, I miss model miniatures. From Rumble, ADLS, there was Crunchy Beaver in Alien, if I remember correctly. I believe you are correct, sir. Wolfsbane for $4.99. I disliked Alien 3 because they offed Newt and Bishop. It would have been interesting to have that family dynamic on a prison planet. Great potential drama. Yeah. All right. Lori, if you can grab a couple others while I randomly select Solomon Thornton, who says, I haven't seen Alien 4. The first two films are hard to top. Yes. Oscar Zakowski, Alien 4 is a classic in a weird way. And Electric Dream says, I'm even more curious after hearing this and watching Jeremy John's mostly positive review. Oh, no kidding. From Fra, Romulus does a good job at weaving some plot elements from Prometheus with the main Alien movies. Those and the original elements are the best part of this one. So you're saying, yeah, when it actually connects itself to the overall lore, that's when it's more interesting. Mars Monkey Max, I hated 3. Alien 3 was so bad. I saw it in theaters as well. Almost fell asleep. Thomas Pickett says the worst thing about Alien 3 was that they teased that the xenomorph was going to get on Earth. What worst thing? Okay. Interesting. Alien 3 would have worked better as an Alice in Chains music video. All right. What else we got here? Did we do? Yeah, we did that super chat. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Alien 3 was great because it's like I'm just clicking these things. Crit Nature. Hail guys, hot take here, but for me, there was only 2 indie films. Temple of Doom was always cringe to me, like a Goonies sequel with Harrison Ford. I'd rather watch Crystal Skull for the mystery themes. Yes, there we go. Alien.
Here is the alien derelict ship. Okay. This image looks so cool in the first movie. And I mean, when we figure out when later in the later films, when we figure out what this is, it's not nearly as cool knowing what it is. Mm-hmm. So there you go. This is it's just that ship. So
yeah.
I got this at the Pasadena swap meet.
Recently, or you've held on to that?
Oh, seriously, recently.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Put it right there. So there you go.
All right.
Yeah, H.R. Giger. I'm a huge fan of H.R. Davina Duckworth. H.R. Giger designed the alien ship, the look of the xenomorph, inspired the face huggers. So a lot of people don't know that Ridley Scott saw H.R. Giger's art before he was even hired. He had in his art created what became the xenomorph before they even made the movie. So he then hired H.R. Giger to do more art, and he also did Dune art.
Oops. This thing keeps moving on me. There you go. Dune art.
Thanks, Thomas Pickett.
Davina, yeah. Tom Siebert. First ad agency I worked at in Baltimore had H.R. Giger artwork all over its walls in one area. It was kind of deathly, actually.
Yeah, so yeah, his art, H.R. Giger, oh my God. I think he still has a website. I want to see.
There you go. Heartbreak Ridge says any fan of H.R. Giger should go to Switzerland and check out his bar and museum in Gneres. Guerreras.
Yeah, I thought he had a website.
Okay, and then Red French Moon. Mobius also had an influence on HR and Aliens. An Alien.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Found it. Still exists. I got a pin from that website. I ordered it. It was amazing. Oh my God. This looks like a website designed in 1996.
I know. Yeah, it's got the frame going there. So if you click stuff on the left, it'll populate.
Yeah, look, it has frames.
Remember that? Remember that?
Frames? Oh my God. This is a 1996 website.
I believe this is written in HTML.
Oh man. It does not look great.
Look at the CSS work on that one.
Oh God, frames. The museum. Oh, I would love to go to that museum.
So is that the one in Switzerland?
There's the phone number. These paintings are missing in Prague. There's a $10,000 reward.
Oh, wow.
This is, oh my God, this is like such a blast of the past. It's like, I remember how bad websites were when it was this. There's a Giger bar.
Back then, these websites were great.
Look at the, I'll zoom in so you guys can see this. Holy cow. This is an HR Giger bar.
Okay, so I think that's the one in Switzerland we were just talking about.
Switzerland, it is.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
That's nice.
That is amazing. Oh, look at these photos.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
The chairs. It's a weird sort of like bioweapon, like look to all of his stuff. Like,
well, hopefully the protesters won't get to it.
why do these protesters always go after good art? Why can't they go after modern art that's crap?
Because of the oil companies, that's why.
Well, there are multiple bars. Tokyo, Japan no longer exists. That's too bad.
COVID.
But this is hey, thanks everybody for going down the rabbit hole with us. There are 2 Giger bars in Switzerland, more than one. We'll put the link to this in the description here. Hang on.
Yeah, see, Euler Workshop. Mobius and Luc Besson also had an influence on Star Wars. Look that up sometime.
Wow, sorry, folks. Now I'm getting obsessed with this.
Yeah, now you're going down the internet rabbit hole.
Now the web store is, you can buy beer. Here, I'll share this. Okay, real quick. Because we're waiting for our guest. Yeah. This is cool. Tom Siebert. Alan, if you would.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to.
Yeah. I guess I have to ask a question. Are you watching the show? Or are you on the show? I'm doing a show.
I've been reading chats. What are you talking about? You just pop one up all of a sudden.
It's frustrating sometimes. I feel like I'm doing the show alone.
Yeah, because you're doing the internet searches right now, and I'm kind of like, all right, we'll see where he takes this one.
All right, let's go.
I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in the sense of, you know, you want a movie to watch that you want to talk about afterwards and not feel like, oh, it was okay.
Well, there you go. Magnum Norse for 10. You've been gored.
No, that's it. No, I'll say stuff, and you're just doing the business of the show. You're producing the show, and it's like,
well, I'll
just
do
leave me
whatever.
hanging
But,
with
I
these
mean, you know,
comments. I mean, really,
it's
you're not watching the show either.
I'm
You're worried about what banner you're going to put up
I'm
next.
putting up the banner.
Again, this is the most produced show on the internet. 'Cause
No, it's not.
No one else does banners. We're the only ones that do banners and
They-
posters.
No, look,
You're trying to recreate G4 on the internet here.
no, we're not. It's not that produced.
It is more produced.
It
than
can be
everyone else.
overproduced.
Yes, we are more produced than everyone else. I'll say.
No,
Which is
no,
fine.
that's not
It's-
true. It's not true.
No, it's fine. I'm for production. I like that, but I'm just saying, Geeks and Gamers doesn't have banners. Nerdrotic doesn't have banners.
It's first of all, it's not even that hard.
I'm not saying it's
not
hard.
that hard.
I'm saying we are overproduced compared to everyone else.
No,
We are more produced.
banners, and we share articles, and I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts. I mean,
Yes. Well, the two things that can reunite us. And
now I know how Mo feels when Larry and Curly do something like,
Did you get anything? No. Oh, slacker. What's the idea of the two brushes? I'm in a hurry. Well, get going.
I'm Mo right now.
what's weird is you look like Mo in those clips.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm like, there's
I
no
look
difference between
like
you
Mo,
and Mo.
and you do not look at all. Hey, let's get these. Oh, we have
It's
super
hilarious.
chats. Get to those, Alan. Get to these. Here.
Okay. All right, here we go. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 5. Frank and Alan say no. Jeremy John say, I haven't said no or yes. I haven't seen the movie. Jeremy John says yes. Tiebreaker goes to Grace. Before I decide to see this or not, I kid.
You know what she's gonna say.
Do
Here,
we?
grab this one right here?
Do we know what
Thank
she's
you
going
for
to
that,
say?
Bruce Leroy Jenkins.
I feel like we don't know what she's going to say for this one. Except for, well, it has high diversity for teens, so she's going to like it. Anthony Parkinson, Ridley paid Giger out of his own pocket when the studio fired him. Good for him. That's what people do in the industry. They support each other, or should do. Razorbird for 5. Chris, Romulus would be better if there were real Romulans in it. Can you imagine them fighting aliens?
Yeah, do a Star Trek alien crossover.
Can you imagine the Borg versus the aliens? David Batalur, wasn't Alien based on dragonfly larva? Probably.
I've never read that, but it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense. So, okay, continuing on.
All right. Dr. Certifiable for 2. The fails and the odd couple banter is the best.
What are you talking about? What?
Can you imagine if we ran the show perfectly? How boring the show would be.
It's not going to be just. My dad grew up on a farm. He would tell me stories about it, and my grandparents used to garden. They would have raspberries and apples, and we would go picking fruit. So it's really interesting. So I'm a little kid, and we get like 25 cents, my sister and I, and we go to these farms that they would give you, they'd weigh your basket. So they would put a little piece of paper in your basket, say your basket weighs this or whatever, or we'd bring in boxes. Then they would weigh it on the way out. They deduct the weight of the packaging, and you just pay for, like, we would get so much fresh fruit. My grandmother had a pantry. She'd make fresh strawberry jam. Everything was fresh. She used to mock going to restaurants. Like, I can make better food than this. This was my grandmother. So yeah, I learned a lot from them. I don't live anywhere where I actually have enough land to actually farm, but I should.
Yeah, my mom grew up on a farm, but then the Japanese burned it down.
It's pretty close to the true story.
Oh my god! The best part is cutting back to you and your reaction.
I just remember because you were going on a long time about farms.
That was such a boring story.
Oh my god. I just kept thinking, oh yeah, my farm story is much better than yours. Your farm.
I agree. Your story was better and shorter.
Yeah, my mom lived in a tunnel for a full month because of the Japanese. Ron is wrong. H.R. Giger was a design genius. He was.
Absolutely.
Euler Workshop for $4.99. In the book How Star Wars Conquered the Universe, you can find Luc Besson's tied to Star Wars. Yes, he was young. For the chat that doesn't believe me.
Interesting.
Oilers has something to prove to the chat, I feel like. Jeeping Baylor for $5. Chris, do you remember the Joe Bob Briggs show back in the day when he would do the titty count?
Yes, I love Joe Bob Briggs. I've corresponded with him, talked to him. I never met him face to face, but I did go to the Joe Bob's drive-in. I went there during Halloween. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what about the second half of the question?
Yes, that's more for you.
I don't know. I'd never seen Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah,
we had
Boomer
Elvira.
Stories.
We had Elvira. That's
Joseph. Chris can't beat the tunnel story. I can't. Grace loves face huggers, fresh snow, drinking game. Every time Chris and Alan say boobs. Alan, go ahead.
Boobs.
All right. There you go. All right. We have a special guest joining us today. We have a special guest. He is here. He is the director of a new independent film opening in theaters this weekend. Good Bad Things is coming to theaters. Let's talk to director Shane D. Stanger. He's here. He's here waiting in the wings. Where is he? Where'd he go? I see him. He's right there. Let's get him on the show. Hey, Shane.
No. Hey.
It's not Stranger, though, right? It's
Stanger. Yeah, you got close.
Stanger. Okay, gosh, my apologies for that. We will fix that right now.
No, we had it right all along. It's just
well, there you go. I just can't read. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Shane,
how are you guys?
Good, doing good. Thanks for joining us on the show. Your film, Good Bad Things. Am I correct? It was at the Slam Dance Festival.
Yeah, we were at Slam Dance this most recent January.
Congratulations for
Thank
that.
you.
And it's getting a release in AMC theaters, like 50 screens. Is that right?
Yeah, so we released tomorrow, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, we're doing 50 theaters. We're doing a Thursday release and then a follow-up matinee Sunday, and then running all the way through the week at Burbank. So yeah, it's cool.
It's good to see the AMC chain support small indie films. I saw your film. It's very heart-wrenching. It's also funny. It's a romance, a young disabled man just as a goof. So I'm just going to put my name into this, this dating app. And he finds a girl very attractive, thinks he's being catfished. He's not. They develop a relationship. And I will say, I was very moved by the film. It reminds me of a movie I saw when I was younger. Love this movie, Inside Moves, directed by Richard Donner, which is another film that features disabled characters. I think the problem is with disabled, when you tell a disabled story, Hollywood always wants to cast, Tom Hanks or something.
Mm-hmm.
The lead actor in your film is disabled.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, how did you pull this together? This story, it's more realistic. Now I'm going to share your website.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So So Danny and me grew up together. I've been friends with him since I was like 12 years old. And so I went to film school kind of as a second career just a couple of years ago. And in the middle of school, I was doing a short film, and I just kind of talked to Danny. I'm like, hey, I don't really know what I want to do my short film on. And I think he was kind of just like, oh, I'll be in it. And so that's kind of how it started. But we did a short film, and the people in class, when we were kind of looking at the dailies and everything, just really felt drawn to him as just an on-screen presence. And so I told him, and we kind of started riffing a little bit, but we just kind of were like, you know what, fuck it, let's go do it the real way. And we wrote a script together, pulled 25 years of memories, and just went off and did it, super indie style. Weren't expecting a whole lot. It was, for me, it was my first feature. For him, it was sort of his first foray into acting. And so we went in very much just sort of with the plan of go to make a movie and have some fun. And I think what happened was people started really responding to the script. And when we started shooting, it really was feeling like people were getting behind the project in a bigger way. And, we brought in a little bit more money and, maxed out a couple more credit cards as such as you do when you're making your first movie. But we just kind of did everything we could to keep it rolling. And it started off, I think, feeling very much kind of like a student project, but along the way we brought some really talented people onto the team, and it just started flowing. And so we worked our asses off for a couple years, and it feels really great to finally be able to get it out there. So thank you.
Yeah, well, Danny is very good in the film. He's very good. I found one of the more touching scenes was his relationship with his father.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That really hit me as a dad myself. The actor who played his dad, was that his dad?
It looks exactly like his dad, right? But
yeah.
No. So that's Gale Hansen. He hadn't been in, I don't think he'd acted in a film for quite a while, because he was a big actor when he was, in his 20s, 30s, and then ended up becoming a studio executive for, I think like a good, couple, decades. I think like, 15 years as a studio executive. But I met him years ago, and we just stayed in touch as friends. And so when I started, when I went to film school, he had by then started teaching acting. And so I kind of started taking lessons with Gale. And then along the way, I had Danny go work with Gale once we started, kind of working on this script together. And along the way, we wrote the story after Danny had started prepping, just to kind of learn the kind of fundamentals as an actor. And we decided that we needed to make sure that him and Gale could have a scene together. And so we put Gale in the scene to play his dad. And so they got a really strong chance to connect and practice and rehearse. And just by the time we got to shooting them together, it was just, they were basically, already so tight. So that really worked for us. But Gale's amazing. He's such a talented, caring guy. And we're really lucky he was part of the project, because he brought it, I think, to another level for sure.
We've got over 2,600 people watching live. We've got questions from our chat. We'll have more questions in a second. We'll go to those. I wonder if we can watch the trailer. Can we do that right now? Yeah. Okay. Because I saw this trailer in a theater.
Oh no!
That's what I saw it. I forgot what I saw. I saw the what was it? The Duel in theater.
Okay, cool.
This played in front of it. So I go to AMC Burbank, and they played the trailer.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna also have. I don't know if you go to the 16 or 8 or both, but we're doing.
I go to the 16.
Okay, so at the 8, that's where we're doing our week-long theatrical. But okay, I'm happy to hear you saw the trailer, because we didn't pay for trailers, and so part of the deal for not paying is they don't tell us actually when we're going to get them run and which films we're approved on. So we kind of like have no idea. Like I only know when they play if someone's like, "Hey, I saw your trailer." So you're like,
let's
Anyway.
check it out right now. Here it is. Here we go.
I think I just got my first match.
Maddie. I love that.
There's no way she's real. Definitely a spam account. She's gonna have me like follow her, get my credit card information, steal my identity.
It's worth it.
I kind of didn't tell her about my disability.
Just tell her. She's not gonna care. I mean, if she cares, then forget about her.
Love is the best part of life. All we can do is take the leap.
That was goodbadthings.com is the website. You can get more info. You can see the trailer. Let's go to questions from our chat here. We've got Adelis24. When casting romantic partners on an indie, what are the primary traits, things you're looking for initially? Is there time for chemistry reads during the casting process?
I mean, I think it depends on the film. For this particular film, we didn't really have a whole lot of runway, I guess, just in terms of what we were, I think, able to do, just because this is my first film and Danny had never acted before and we were pretty low budget. So we could have gone that direction and gone through a casting process, but we went directly to a talent agency and sort of looked through, I think, the roster of people we thought were going to be a good fit. And so when we landed on Jessica, she was really like one of my favorite actresses in the show Black Sails. I don't know if you guys saw that show, but so she, she had a role that already sort of, it required her to have chemistry with a lot of different people through, the few seasons. And so I kind of had this idea. I'm like, you know what, if she was able to pull off some of the stuff she pulled off on that show, this is going to be no problem. And so when I first met her, she told me that she was a big fan of Shane Burkaw and his wife Hannah, and they have a big following. And they're a couple. He has a disability, and Hannah's able-bodied, and they have a relationship that very much, I think, mirrors some of the things about ours. And so the fact that she was already a fan of his and was talking about him, and kind of just, I don't know, I felt like she really believed in the material, and that was, I think, the most important thing, is just to know that she wanted to portray this correctly. And so yeah, it was that's how we did it, but hopefully in the future I'm allowed to do some more like auditions and stuff, but I don't get that yet. So
well, first of all, by the way, the comments are, wow, that looks great, John Harrison, and then Sassy77, who is cutting onions? So I like that comment. But
onions for one of the scenes, because we only had like 10 people on our crew, but that's not what I mean.
But the way that disabled characters in films have always been portrayed is by celebrities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like when it's real, like in the movie Inside Moves, directed by Richard Donner, is so authentic, so just well done. So kudos to you for that. Your comment here, Dapper Bard Games, I'm disabled, and I'm so happy a movie like this exists.
Come check it out over the weekend. We're in we're in most major cities at some place. So Thursday or Sunday. I'd love to see what you think.
Patrick Lemire says, congrats, 50 theaters.
Thanks,
and
dude.
Question here, Jimmy Francis, what budget and amount of shooting days did you manage to get?
It was sort of it's spread out between like all sorts of different ways we pulled it together, but I'd say the budget, kind of by the time we finished, went through all the festivals, got all the music licensing, all that stuff, it's under $1 million, and we shot it over about 22 to 24 days. But what happened was we ended up having to sort of adjust because someone got COVID and we had to push, and so like we were shooting it in a way where we were doing 4-day weeks a lot of the time, sometimes 2-day weeks, sometimes 3-day weeks. So because we didn't have a lot of money, and when I say under $1 million, I'm like well under $1 million, but I've just been told I'm not supposed to say the number. But but yeah, no, we were making it with friends, and by the time we were a few weeks in, we all just kind of believed in the film in a way that I think allowed us to take the pressure off of like having to fit into a specific like standard schedule, because we really only had to answer to ourselves. And so we took time. We really made sure that we gave ourselves enough time, and we were writing a lot of the times on the weekends and adjusting things, adding scenes. So it was really lucky, I guess, first kind of creative process to be able to do it that way.
A question from Davina Duckworth. How did you and Danny set out the scope of the screenplay, the length, the budget?
So we started with, okay, what do we have access to? We've got my house, we've got his house, so it was kind of like, okay, let's go for high production value because we don't have a lot of money. And so anything that we could think to do that could sort of give us that feeling like it wasn't just, some low budget student film, we did. And so we really utilized his house. It's one of the main locations, and that really lended itself to like, probably a quarter of the movie. And yeah, it was just all sort of, what do we think we can, what kind of movie can we make where we don't, have to sacrifice or give away, I guess, that it's a low budget project. But I don't know if that's an answer, but is it?
Good answer. And last question here from Oliver Leveray-Frog. Can you watch it outside the U.S.? It's opening in theaters this weekend in the U.S. When will there be a foreign overseas rollout?
Yeah, so we're going to have within the next like 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to be able to show it outside of the country. I'm not able to announce it quite yet, but if you follow our Instagram account at Good Bad Things Film, we're going to keep everyone updated, but there's going to be a chance. In about 4 to 6 weeks, I think, maybe 7, I don't know, somewhere in there.
Well, I would follow the website. Then the website is again?
It's goodbadthings.com.
Goodbadthings.com. Go to goodbadthings.com and follow Shane's work.
It says that you have a Q&A screening on Sunday. Is that?
Yeah. So we're doing so last night was our premiere, which was really cool. And Rami Youssef came out and he hosted the Q&A, and yeah, it was rad. And then I'm confused. Yeah, tomorrow we're doing another Q&A screening at Century City AMC. And Sean Hayter from the film Coda, she's hosting it and gonna do that whole thing and like moderate the Q&A. And then we're doing one more Q&A Sunday.
I think are you going to Tustin? Is that the one?
No. Oh, actually, no. Danny's going to that one in Tustin,
and
then Century City is going to be. Yeah. We're splitting up on Sunday after kind of sticking together this whole time. Yeah.
Here it is, goodbadthings.com. And Rockin' Art says, if there's no boobs in a movie, Chris will drop points on the review scale. I'll say this. The movie's sexy. It has sex. I like that you leaned right into, because the romantic lead is a photographer. There are some sexy scenes in this. I'm letting you know right now. So I'm serious. And Patrick Lemire, strong award this contender. I'm not sure if you're aware of our award show, Award This, but you are eligible for the show this December.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not fully aware, but I, into that. So whatever.
It's okay. It's okay. Look at this. Movie looks good. Red French Moon. I will try to see this film ideally with the date. Dapper Bard Games. You see this movie with the date? Look, you're gonna get some. I'm just telling you right now. It's very romantic. I'm serious. I'm being serious. And the whole cast is really, really like delightful, and it works. So congrats again, Shane, on this. Yeah, no, look, there's a dearth of these films. Just give me a simple romance. People have problems. They may get together, they may not. Will they, won't they? Get all of that in a very authentic story. So there you go. Shane, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Congrats on the film. See it this weekend. Goodbadthings.com. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Do I just...
Look at that.
Yeah.
That was great. Alan, you're huge.
I am huge.
You're huge. There you go. All right. That wraps it up for us today. I want to say thank you to our mods.
Let's see. Do we have that on here? I'm sure it's Lord Thoth. Thank you very much for Lori, Atomic Lori, for producing the show. I'm sure Chris is going to come back any second now. There we go. Yeah, we got the mods.
Whoa!
And we have $100 super chat from the Wild Man from Yemen. Thank you so much. F Disney. Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Alan. 100 to you for saying fuck Disney to all of the Disney employee.
Alan, try that again.
Sorry.
Do it.
Well,
it's camera.
You just unstarted. Okay. Fuck Disney. Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Alan. 100 to you for saying fuck Disney. To all the Disney employed peeps who may be watching, your employer is a sham. This whole thing pisses me off. What the fuck are you doing? Cheers, you all. Sorry for my rant. Thank you for that.
Don't be sorry. That was the rant of the day.
Yes.
The rant of the day. So wow, thank you, Wild Man of Yavin. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Want to thank our mods, Lord Thoth, Atomic Lori, Glenn Duccio, making the videos, making us. Well, look, he always highlights the fights. Why is it he always gets us fighting?
I know, because we get
It's
along.
Weird.
We get along 100% of the time. I love it when they say the name of the movie in the movie. I love it too.
It does happen. So
remember when Luke said, "Oh, the Empire struck back."
Luke, we're ready for takeoff.
Good luck, Mando. When we find Jabba the Hutt and that bounty hunter, we'll contact you.
I'll meet you at the rendezvous point on Tatooine.
Princess, we'll find Han. I promise.
Chewie, I'll be waiting for your signal. Take care, you two.
Oh, the Empire struck back.
One of my favorite scenes.
I love that scene.
That was one of my favorite scenes. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back Friday with a spoiler review of Alien Romulus. And Alan will be so scared. What happens when you get scared, Alan?
It will scare the living poop out of me. And also, I'll be on Verbal Riot at 4:00 Pacific with our good friend Dante.
That's right. So go to Verbal Riot Show. Alan will be on in an hour. I will be trolling Alan on the show.
Yeah,
I am. I'm gonna.
We'll be talking about our favorite white guy. And,
who is that?
Well, that'd be you, Chris.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Take care, everyone. See you Friday, Alan.
Let's get out of here.